If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
The B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club presents Coach Adam Fossett Show every week at this time. And Coach, it was a great first half last Friday against Walter Welborn at the stadium.
It was. We played well. We had a great opportunity to lay down because they took the opening kickoff back, and that kid still hasn't been touched. So, but that was an opportunity for our guys to say, hey, this is over. They're better than us, and we just can't compete. And they didn't do that. They fought back. We come back and score, and we go back and forth for a while. There it was 7-6 until second quarter, and then we picked up the scoring a little bit. So, we fought hard. The second half, it's a tale of two different teams. It's a tale of a team that had all 22 starters return, and a tale of a team that's playing a lot of sophomores, freshmen, and a couple eighth graders, and it shows. And it feels like we kind of go over that week in and week out, but honestly, that's the truth of the matter. We played very hard, even at the end of the game. When we're down 49 to 18 or whatever before we scored, we had an opportunity to score again and score. We take a chance to get the onside kick, just to, why not? That's why I told our coaching staff. I said, look, worst case scenario, they get mad because we onside kicked and they go score another one. It is what it is. Best case scenario, we get the ball back, we score, we're down 2 scores, and all of a sudden they've got to pressure a little bit. So overall effort was amazing. The guys did a great job. Obviously there were some mistakes made, but you can tell just from now from this time last year, there's such a difference in everything. There's such a difference in all the stuff. And Monday, we even talked to our guys about it and said, look, the record is the same as it was this time last year, but this is where we are. This is where offensively we've put up more points already this year than we did all of last year. We've put up more yardage all of this year than we did all of last year. We've got an opportunity for one of our backs to rush for over 1,000 yards. We're probably going to throw for right at 800 to 1,000 yards. So, it was this time last year, or for the entire season of last year, I think we completed 17 passes. So we've already thrown for 570 yards this year, so forth and so on. So, we've got a kid that has 85 tackles. Our leading tackler last year had 75 for the season. So, again, the stats are there. We're playing harder. We're doing good things. It's just the experience part of it. It's just the buzzsaw of the region. I noticed earlier before we came on air, Piedmont's number 1, Randolph County's number 4, and Walter Welborn is number 6 in the state, and all 3 of them are in our region. So it is a buzzsaw region. It is, you go from playing Welborn last week. We play a very good Pleasant Valley team Friday night for their homecoming, and then we come back home and play the number 1 team in the state in Piedmont. So it's back to back to back, and we get a big chunk of the meat of our schedule in the second half of the season.
You had a outstanding first half against Walter Welborn. That opening kickoff, 89-yard touchdown on the opening kickoff, and Welborn goes up. But your kids hung in there with them. And in the second half, it was just too much strength and too much power and too much experience for B.B. Comer to overcome. But that's something you're working to get done over there, like some of these 3 top 10 teams have already done in your classification.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a building process. I have a good relationship with Jeff Smith, who's the head coach at Welborn. And we talk a lot. We talk before the game, we talked after the game. And his big thing to me, and it means a lot when other coaches tell you this, but his big thing was just keep doing what you're doing. He said, I don't want to play you next year. He said, I think you guys are about to turn the corner, and I don't want to play y'all next year. So, but he also, just in talking about how we run our program, things like that, they've been doing they've been in that system for 10 years. So his kids that are in the system now, they started in the Pee Wee system and the youth and came on up through JV and junior high, middle school, so forth and so on. And that's what we're trying to do too. we are involved in the youth program, the youth sports and the Pee Wee sports. We're involved in that, and we clinic with the coaches and meet with them and try and talk terminology and things like that. And it's a long haul. It's a big process, a big picture. And I hate to steal a term from Coach Saban, but we got to trust the process that's involved. And that's the key. There's a process involved. There's a plan in place, and we've got to stick to that plan. And the big thing through all this in year two, and I don't want to leave this out by any means, but like the support has been amazing. Like that's been Friday nights. We've got people there. There's people there. When we come off the field, there's people telling our guys, "Good job, hold your head up, you played hard," all the right things. And there's a few people here and there that are going to nitpick and be the sideline quarterbacks and tell me what I need to do and this, that, and the other. But overall, the support has been great, and the kids have had that support coming off the field and just by parents and fans and things like that.
Well, fans that know anything about football can recognize the energies and effort that B.B. Comer brings most every week. And you got Walter Wellborn in the rearview mirror now. You got Piedmont after this week. You can't lose track of Pleasant Valley because they're in the playoff hunt too.
Right. Pleasant Valley is in the mix. They have one loss on the season, and it's a region loss. But Pleasant Valley's got, I talked to Coach Nix. I don't know where they've got all this size from. They've got a kid that's 6'7" that's a sophomore. He's 6'7", 285. They've got two kids that are 6'4", 6'5", 290. So they've got a lot of size, and they're going to use that size to their advantage on the offensive and defensive lines. They also run a variation of the wing tee, kind of like Walter Wellborn did. They're pulling a lot of guards. They're running some buck sweep. They're running some belly option stuff. So this week of practice, again, simulating their offense has been tough. A little bit better than it was against Wellborn because we've had a week of it, So, but to be able to simulate that has been tough. Again, defensively, they're going to use their size in the middle. We're going to have to do a good job staying low and moving people. And we've got a couple of wrinkles that we've put in that we think will help out. A couple of things that will help us. But we have a lot of weapons on the edge. James Carmichael is a big weapon for us.
He made a great catch last week.
Yes. So Julius McCain's doing a good job for us. Davion Welch does a good job for us, and then we're able to flex Raphael Johnson out too and get him out of the backfield, and anytime you can put him in space, that's going to make a defense worry. So a lot of options, a lot of weapons, able to spread the ball around. Devontae Carmichael is running that, and he runs the offense for us and does a good job for us. So. Another big advantage for us is last week we got Ward Rush back, and Ward was coming off a shoulder injury, had surgery, rehabbed. He bugged me every day. Can I practice? Is that
a surprise? He's back this soon?
It is a surprise. Just based on the surgery they had, it's a surprise. Based on his will to get better and healthy so that he could play, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's going to put in the work. He's going to do what he needs to do to get healthy, and he didn't like coming out there and standing around. So he was able to come back. He practiced all week, and then he played, and he was one of our defensive players of the week. So
fantastic. Hey, how important is I know the B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club sponsors Coach Fossett's segment every Thursday on Daybreak. How important is it to have a group of people like this that supports your overall athletic program?
It's very important, and coming in 2 years ago, the key for me was to establish those relationships and establish what they do and what they need from me and things like that. So we have a great working relationship. Tasia Bradford is over that, and she does a great job with it.
She's a go-getter, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And the big thing is, so we have the All Sports Boosters, we have the Alumni Association, and both groups communicate with each other and communicate with me. So we have a great relationship, and that's the key, is to have that communication. So Tasia and Randy Kane communicate, and they let me know what's going on. I reach out to them when we have needs and things like that. And the big thing is that they have people that are they stem off and let other people know stuff and things like that. So they have a lot of big things planned. They have a lot of things going on, and with the season winding down, we've got homecoming coming up, and they've got a big to do getting ready for homecoming, and so they do a lot. They're involved in, and they spread themselves thin because it's literally Tasia and probably 4 or 5 other parents, and that's probably the worst part about the whole situation is we've got to have more people involved. We've got to have more parents involved, and membership's up a little bit, but everybody's got to scratch each other's back. So if you're in the All Sports Boosters and you have a son or daughter that doesn't play football, well, heck, we need your help during football season, because those parents that have a football player, they need to go see their son play. And then when softball rolls around, hey, that football mom will go help softball so they can watch their daughter play. So we've got to get some more membership. We've got to get some more people involved and actually doing work and signing up to help out and things like that. And we've got to get some of these younger parents involved, because one thing with officers and go-getters like Tasia is her son's a senior. So, as he rides off into the sunset, she's going to want to move on and follow whatever he does, because that's her youngest son. So we've got to have somebody else ready to step up, and then somebody behind them to step up, and things like that. So anybody watching and that's not involved in All Sports Boosters, if you have a child and that is in athletics, we need your help. We need you to step up and help out. And you can contact me. You can contact Tasia Bradford. You can go on the All Sports Booster page on Facebook, the athletics page on Facebook, and we can provide information.
Finally, before we go this morning, and this question has been posed to me numerous times this year, with 3 top-ranked teams in 3A on your schedule this year, and the reclassification coming up, I think, in November, somewhere like that, people are wondering, hey, is this going to happen with us the next 2 years as well?
No, I mean, based on numbers and based on just based on looking at the numbers and looking at where everything was the last count 2 years ago, we are set up to go to 2A. And looking at a map and looking at current 2A regions, if everything else stays the same, I would think that we would be in the same region as Fayetteville. So in Fayetteville, Reeltown, Thorsby, Horseshoe Bend, I don't know the whole list.
Reeltown and Lafayette's no gimmies either, in 2A.
So as coaches, we're always trying to find out, especially a reclassification year. We're trying to find out. So we're calling other coaches. We're talking to I've talked to every coach we've played. We've talked about the count. Randolph County. He thinks we're close. We may go to 2A. I'm like, man, y'all stay in 3A. Don't even
having that.
don't even come to 2A. But just based on conversation with other coaches, a Reeltown has seen an influx of enrollees, and apparently Reeltown's supposedly close to 3A numbers. But I hear that Dadeville is close to 2A numbers, which is amazing, because when I was at Childersburg, Dadeville was a 4A in the same region with us. So it's pretty interesting to see how these numbers work. But based on our enrollment, based on the count, 10 days after Labor Day is when they do the count. We are sitting firm in the 2A range.
All right. Big game tomorrow night, Pleasant Valley. It's homecoming for Pleasant Valley. VB Comer trying to get another region win. Coach, let's talk about a victory next week.
Yeah, it's we have an opportunity to go play a game. I was explaining to you off air that with the school schedule and half a day today and off tomorrow, it changes our routine. So anytime you mess with a teenager's routine, it's kind of scary. But we're going to bring the guys in the morning, and we'll have them pretty much all day. We'll do a little walkthrough in the morning and feed them lunch and show them a movie, and then we'll get ready to go. But the keys for us is going to be just consistently getting after it, consistently playing. We're going to have to read our keys on defense and not get caught off guard with misdirection and things like that. Offense, we've got to execute. I tell our linemen every week, it's up to them, but this week they've got to keep those big guys off of us and make holes for us. So it goes back to effort and execution, and if we go there and do that, I think we can probably spoil the homecoming.
All right, kick 7 o'clock tomorrow night at Pleasant Valley. That's north of Jacksonville. The Tigers on the road to take on another region opponent. Coach, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer, our guest this morning, brought to you by the All Athletic Booster Club, All Sports Club at BB Comer. We appreciate them partnering with us to bring you the Coach Adam Fossett Show. More Daybreak after this.